Bob, as Ed Hochuli explains to us in the background, which is a good 5 minutes long, the overtime rules in the NFL, tell me your favorite Ed Hochuli moment.
I think the overpowered.
Yeah.
That has to be up there.
I think one of the greatest things about that was Bill Belichick's face. He just had the complete perplexed face. It was a perfect zoom in. Do you remember who was overpowered? The player? We should ask Ed that if he remembers.
Okay.
Let's make sure we do that. By the way, Ed Hochuli is still explaining the NFL overtime rules. Listen to him. Listen to him speak. He's still going.
Use regular timing rules. And all replay will be conducted from the booth. The coaches do not have challenges.
All right, we're going to shut it down.
Hey, hold on. Hey, the timing rules are...
he sounded like me earlier.
The regular timing rules.
Trying to... maybe Hochuli and I have a lot in common. We like to rumble on and, keep going. Yeah, like I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
So... Ed Hochuli is on. We're excited. And then last week we had Sister Amy Laura Hall. I just wanted to mention this. I got a lot of good feedback. But, Bub, we got called out. Some people said that Sister Amy Laura Hall, they call bullshit on the fact that she's an actual nun. Some people said there's no way she's really a nun. What do you think?
They can just go fuck themselves. Right. I spoke to an angel last week.
She was talking about everything. I was all over the pepperoni pizza, cheesecake, black actors playing God. I think there was
Tim Tebow,
a little touch of racism in there, big time.
Nah, that's okay.
Yeah.
She was a saint. And those of you who think otherwise can go fucking suck my fucking dick.
Now let's take a look into last week's results. Who kicked some ass? Who sucked?
So week 2, Bub, is in the books. I guess the thing that really stood out to me was that Seattle Niner game on Sunday night. That Seattle stadium is crazy. I believe they broke some sort of record, the Guinness Book of World Records.
I knew they were trying. I didn't know if they did or not.
I think they did for the loudest stadium or whatever.
No, I went to bed.
Yeah. It wasn't actually. It was kind of a blowout. It was just really cool.
No, I mean I went to bed before it started.
Okay. You're just not feeling it?
I was tired.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad you got some rest, Bob.
Yep.
It's like 136.6 decimals. It's crazy.
That's a lot of decibels.
I read on Peter King's article that's louder than a jet engine on a runway or whatever.
That's pussy shit.
You're calling bullshit on it, or
no? That's I'm just saying a jet engine is pussy shit. That's what that is.
All right. Well, let's take a look at the slate of games that occurred here in week 2. So, the North Riverdale Division game of the week, as stated by yourself, Bub, was the Riverdale Scoopers, myself, up against the Boston Loggers.
Boy, was I wrong.
Well, I mean, you were and you weren't. I mean, from a point production standpoint, it certainly was not the game of the week, but it was the game of the week as far as it going right down to the very last minute of the Monday night game. I was certainly on my toes watching the
twos. I was flat on my back. I fell asleep.
Wow, you're doing a lot of sleeping lately, Bub.
Yeah. Yep. Just resting up.
Yeah. Getting ready for 2014.
Yep.
So I won 88-86. I had a lot of shit go my way in order to pull this one off. I found it really kind of cool to see in this day and age that you can literally reach out to your players and thank them or ask them to do good via Twitter. Right before the game, I asked Tyler Eifert to please score more points than A.J. Green.
And he did.
He
must have heard you.
Right after that, Ben actually tweeted A.J. Green and asked him to do the same thing. So, obviously, I'm sure those got to them, and I'm sure they very much tried.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah. So, great job for me. The next game was the VIP on Swole versus the Handy Quacks. Big win by Coach Heaney, 137 to 125. Heaney scored the most points of the week, and that's actually the 4th time he's done that in his career. And let's talk about the Handy Quacks for a little bit, Bob. I mean, it's a little bit of a nightmare, scenario for him at this point. Obviously, he's got a great team and high, probably too high expectations. What do you think's going on there?
I mean, it's going to be tough to go undefeated, but Jones Drew was looking back looks like a bad pick.
Well, I mean, he's now banged up, so now he's dealing with some injuries on top of guess.
So he's a bad pick. Is what I just said.
Well, so far, it's a little early.
Looking back on it, it seems like it was a bad pick.
As of week 2,
yes.
Sure,
As of week 2, that was not a good pick. And Foster finally did something this week, but with Tate back there, it's questionable. I think if you could go do it over again, I think Coach Zach probably wouldn't have traded for Foster.
Right.
Probably would have traded for maybe Black Doug or McCoy, I guess, if he could have.
Right. Right. Well, he's still a long season left. He's in the midst of a 6-game losing streak spanning back to last year, which is actually the most of Handy Quack's career as far as long losing streak is concerned. So I get a feeling he'll turn things around fairly quickly, but we shall see. Then the next game was the Rapists up against the Bubblegum Shrimp. This may explain a lot of your recent sleeping, Bub.
Yeah. I think Johnny raped me.
I get it.
Get it?
Because his team name.
Because his name.
Yeah.
And his dick.
134 to 45. You were actually flirting with the lowest point record there for a little while. His Phil's back from I think D1. I think he scored 37 points. Luckily, you had a couple guys on Monday night muster up a couple of points for you.
That's how I planned it.
So that's something your lowest point total though. You actually got 40 points back in D4. Oh. That was your first year.
Good.
You're a little rookie then.
Good to know.
You were just a little guy then.
Yeah.
You're a little guy.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing.
No. Now you do though. Now you do.
Clearly.
Yeah. So, and I find it funny, the Rapist, look at his game cast on his team. Do you notice anything that's kind of just quirky or fun on that, Bob, real quick? I just scan over it. No. Okay.
No.
He's got 2 J. Jones in at receiver. It's kind of funny. It's Julio Jones and James Jones, but on the game cast it's J. Jones, and you're going to kind of look to see who they're playing to see which one is who. It's just a funny little
that is pretty funny.
And John, actually, he almost obtained a coaching achievement by outscoring his opponent by 100 points, but again, that quite didn't happen. He did outscore you by more than 75 points, but he already obtained that achievement years back, so good for all of us to know. I sense a little sarcasm when it comes to these achievements and some of these little nugget stats, Bub. What's the problem?
No, it's just hard for me to get excited when my team is so fucking terrible.
And speaking of that, I appreciate your passion in doing all this in the midst of a possibly horrific season.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do it if you weren't paying me to do it. So.
Right, sexually, of course. Let's go over to the South Riverdale Division. So the game of the week, Yellow Peril and the Rockdalian Senators. He did it. He finally did it, Bob. Yellow Peril. Before we talk about him, quickly, the Senators, 84 points on his bench. He actually outscored his starting lineup of 81 points, although it is a little misleading, because if you look at it, Bob, I don't think there's really anyone on his bench who he really would have started.
No, you're not starting Eddie Royal. I know he's like number one receiver at this point, but you're not starting him.
Right. So what are you gonna do? Just one of those things. But back to Yellow Peril. He did it. The son of a bitch finally got a win. This is what was playing in Yellow Peril's locker room following the game. He snapped the Dynasty's record of the longest losing streak, which is now stand pat here at 13. And Bub, you can't just lose 13 fucking games in a row and in this league and get away with it. So what do you say we call Jay Young and give him a little shit and maybe
sure.
Ask him how he feels. Let's get him up on the phone line here and see what Jay Young has to say for himself. Let's put him on speakerphone.
It is.
Okay.
I think we gotta wait till I think it'll kick in.
It will kick in. Okay. We're dealing with some amateur.
Hey.
Bob, what up, dude?
Hey.
It's not working.
That's okay. Let's put it right next to the speaker.
Okay.
Coach Jay Young Kim. Is this Coach Jay Young Kim of Yellow Peril? First and foremost.
Coach.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, this is you. Okay. Well, this is the Commissioner Scooper and Bob Palucci here on the Dynasty Podcast, and we just wanted to quickly talk to you a little bit about what occurred here in the Dynasty. You finally got a win. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Your last win was in Week 3. But yeah, your last win was last year, Week 3, against, ironically, the VIP who went on to win the championship. It was on September 23rd of 2012, and since then a lot has happened both in the league and in the world, Jay Young. Bub, correct me if I'm wrong, and feel free to check the math here,
sure.
But there's been literally exactly 100 wins in the Dynasty since you won. None of them, of course, were you.